Okay, how's it everyone, and welcome to this edition of the SA Crypto Market Analysis. It's myself, James Preston.
And myself, Graeme Tennant.
And we are here after some parabolic moves. Can you believe it? So a little different setup here. So last couple of episodes we've been recording directly off the screen and you haven't been able to see us. So we just thought we'd make it a little bit more personable for you and show you this is the SA Crypto office right here, by the way. My little corner here. Graham's office is on the other side where he does his
So I had to make a great trek to come across this side.
Big trick where he does his financial analyses for the work that he does. And we have some big stuff to talk about. Of course, these huge moves. We're currently sitting at $8,000 US. Time of recording is Wednesday afternoon, 15th of May, 5 minutes to 4 p.m. Graeme, take us through what you see. I mean, you called the bottom was probably in, and there's a very good chance of some bullish movement. You called that in our last episode two weeks ago. Fantastic call, well done. And you called it, but you didn't expect this kind of move.
Absolutely not.
Take us through what you saw.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I felt the bullish case was looking more likely the last time that we chatted, and I mean, there's been a build up to that point. Once we broke above this previous resistance and we got this big green candle, we could obviously see there's a lot of bullish sentiments in the market. And we chatted last week, we looked at the squeeze that we got here and a break out of that little channel that looks really ridiculous now in hindsight, but at the time was fairly significant. We said
the 1 hour time
straight
frame,
into the 1 hour. This was the break of that small squeeze. And I was saying that I was looking to take profit around about the 6,100 level, and then it just went full retard and just absolutely exploded through that what I at least expected would be a significant resistance level. And if we just zoom out quickly back to the daily, you'll see that we've got the volume profile on here. And this is just a different way of looking at support and resistance levels. So this volume profile shows you the price levels at which there was maximum buying and selling activity, so maximum trading activity, and that's generally where there's a lot of volume or a lot of trading going on at that specific price range. That's where you expect that there's going to be areas of support and resistance either on the way up and way down. But as you can see here, it didn't flinch. I mean, the further it got into that resistance level, the faster it went. So that really took me by surprise. And I didn't have any leveraged long positions on there, unfortunately.
So you had a take profit on that 6,100, 6,200 zone.
Yeah, I mean, actually, to be honest, it was even closer to the bottom. Well, I mean, further down. I must try now scratch my head and think where exactly it was, but I think it was around about these levels. I mean, it was about 5,700. That type of zone where we did get some sideways movement, but then once it got out of there, it just carried on and it didn't stop, which is unbelievable, really exciting, really bullish, because now we are above that 6,000 odd level, which everyone expected. Well, not everyone, but the vast majority of people expected that to be a significant resistance level. You spoke about Vinnie Lingham and that level, and we absolutely exploded through it, and that's why we can be even more bullish now. Although having had this super parabolic move, we've got to start saying, well, there should be some kind of cool off at some point in time. And then just another thing to note, once we did blow through that level, we did get a retracement. This was on the 12th of May, and the price dropped around 10% and then found support at that previous resistance level, and now it's carried on its merry way. So these are the type of pullbacks that we can look at that could be potential entry points going forward.
And do you see a pullback happening?
It's difficult. It's really difficult to call when the market is in this really excited state, because we've seen Bitcoin before. In 2017, if you were waiting for a decent pullback, there were few and far between, and before you blinked, I think it was at 20,000. Yeah. So it really is a difficult scenario for a trader, because you don't want to chase green candles, because you are going to get a pullback at some stage. And I think for me, what I want to see is a proper topping out pattern like a head and shoulders or double top, and then put my Fibonacci levels on, and then we can start to see where are the likely retracement levels, where are the support and resistance levels, and then set up trades accordingly. But at this point in time, I'm not chasing this market. I think that would be foolish. I might be proven wrong if Bitcoin continues to explode, but for me, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to leave the leverage off. I was accumulating Bitcoin at these bottom levels, like we spoke about repeatedly. Accumulate Bitcoin for your long-term position. Wait till the market shows a more bullish side before putting on your leverage longs, which I did to some extent. Obviously didn't capitalize on it completely, but now I just have to be happy with my long holding, and I'm going to leave the leverage alone for now, on the Bitcoin market at least. But I want to chat a little bit about the altcoins and Ethereum, because that's where I think we're going to see some of the alts start to catch up, and that's where I think it's going to be more exciting. So we can sit and look at this Bitcoin chart and cry about the horse that's already bolted, or we can start to say to ourselves, well, where's the next move going to come from?
Right. Okay. So we have Bitcoin dominance at the moment.
Yes.
Take us through this.
So very briefly, this is showing you the Bitcoin price versus, or rather, what portion of the market cap is held by Bitcoin.
Right.
So here we can see that at the moment it's sitting at 57%. Okay.
Interesting. The trading view actually is charting this.
Just on that quick point, this is a different website.
Okay.
It's called
CoinTrader.
So it's actually Coin Signals. If you type in Coin Signals, it'll take you to this website, and it takes the data directly from CoinMarketCap. So it's an awesome resource.
And it's empowered and provided by TradingView.
By the TradingView platform, 100%. So it's still got the same tools, etc.
Right.
Now this is quite a long-term chart. This is going back to 2017. It's a 3-day chart, so every candle is 3 days, so it's quite a long term. But you can see that we had a falling wedge here, and then a break out of that, which was fairly recent. That was in April. And since then, Bitcoin's gone on a rampage compared to the rest of the market.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't do it full justice, but I mean, 13% is a pretty decent move of Bitcoin, of additional market cap to attain for Bitcoin.
Yes.
Now, what we're seeing here is this looks a bit like a blow off top. That looks a bit like a shooting star candle, which suggests that this could be the end of this run, at least temporarily, of the Bitcoin dominance, which means that some of the altcoins should start to now take some of that market cap back.
Okay.
So in my opinion, we need to start looking at the altcoins as the next potential big movers. So this is real
bull market language here.
This is bull market.
We're back to all right. It's the alts. Now we talk about the alts. I mean, no one's been talking about alts for the last 18 months.
And I mean, look at this Ethereum chart. This is the daily chart, and the chart's just been terrible. And it's just, every time it dips and falls over, it just carries on moving in the same direction.
There were some people calling Ethereum's over the way it was capitulating, but exciting times for it.
I believe so. So this is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. As we can see, we've got quite a nice move the last 2 days. So from the absolute bottom, it's now up 15% versus Bitcoin. Okay, and given that Bitcoin hasn't been as sluggish, well, a little bit more sluggish, but it's still moved up the last 2 days. It's been a decent move. So we could see, look, I still do want to see some kind of basing out pattern on this chart before really getting stuck into Ethereum. But this is the chart that I'm,
that was Ethereum Bitcoin,
that's
and now we're looking at Ethereum
Now we're looking at Ethereum itself. But yeah, I want to see some kind of bottoming out pattern before really getting started. But I'm definitely paying more attention to these charts than I am to the Bitcoin chart, because, like I said, these are the laggers, and I think these are the guys that are going to steal the headlines of the next coming weeks, or days and weeks and months, hopefully. And just quickly touching on this chart, so this is, like you said, Ethereum dollar. Here we've got this rising wedge. Now, typically a rising wedge, interestingly enough, is a bearish pattern.
Okay.
Typically,
right.
Okay. However, the exception to that rule is in an extreme bear market, where you often get these squeezes and the market's just so excited that it actually just flies through the top. And 2017 for Bitcoin was a really good example of that on a longer term chart. And here we can see Ethereum's kind of showing us the same type of behavior. Now, this is a chart pattern that you need to be aware of. Again, I'm not going to chase this right now, but if we do retrace and stabilize, I think that's going to give us the permission to then really go on a big strong move to the upside with Ethereum. And then you can start watching your other big alts, Litecoin, Monero. Ripple's really been hammered. You've got to feel that there's going to be some kind of kickback from Ripple. Stellar, those type of coins should start to look quite exciting if we see that type of action play out. So this is really the time to start switching on your monitors and getting the charts up and get some money into the altcoin exchanges, at least for now, so that you're ready to pull the trigger when the right type of market setup takes place.
And on that note, folks, we can say it's, as I say, Wednesday afternoon, 15th of May. Binance looks to be fully operational within the next half an hour. They've said that they've put out some tweets today that they're going to be fully operational within the next half hour. So they couldn't have timed that recovery better after the terrible hack that they had in losing 7,000 Bitcoins worth of assets in their hack. So they've really done well to time their recovery and get everything back up and running. So are you going to be playing around in Binance, or is it just BitMEX for now, staying with the big boys, the Ethereums, the Litecoins, the Ripples, etc.?
Yeah, BitMEX is great because it's got those large cap altcoins. I'm not on Binance personally. Huobi is another nice one that I trade on quite extensively. But I mean, if you know how to trade with leverage and you're comfortable with the risk management side of things, then you got nice liquidity on most of the big alts there. And that's where you can really get the biggest bang for your buck.
Okay. Just take us back to the Bitcoin chart.
Cool.
Just in closing, down here, if you want to click the mouse down for the screen recording view, is that a bearish divergence that we're seeing there? And would that play out, or are we in too strong a parabolic move to really take that into consideration?
So if we look at the most obvious potential bearish divergence, that would be this. These two peaks here.
Yeah.
All right, and then you'd have to take the relative highs of the price here, and yes, you could argue that's a bearish divergence, which would indicate that we should expect a sell-off. However, I've learned from experience that bearish divergences, when Bitcoin and cryptos in general get excited, are not always your best indicators. So this is what I was actually looking at, and this was a clear bearish divergence in itself. At that point in time, where we had the market moving up, the RSI moving down, and yes, we did get a decent sell-off, but then we are absolutely rocketed after that. So it's one indicator to take into account, but it's definitely not the be-all and end-all. Okay. You've got to take indicators into consideration with various other factors. So yes, at some point we've got to get a pullback. It's as sure as night follows day. There's going to be a pullback of some kind. We cannot keep on going parabolic infinitely. Ask the guys that bought Bitcoin at $20,000 in 2017. But Bitcoin can stay very bullish for a long time. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But like I said, I'm not chasing this market right now. I'm waiting for some of the alts to form some decent bullish patterns that I can take advantage of.
Great. Well, there we go. We heard it straight from the horse's mouth, if you like, the bull's mouth. Graeme
and
Tennant.
That's not to say that I won't get involved in Bitcoin if we do get a nice retracement to a specific level. But again, I cannot justify buying at 8,000 once after we've moved up like $2,000 in a matter of days. So yeah.
Got it. Well, Graeme, thanks so much.
Great.
We appreciate it. We will try and get you on Monday afternoon. So it's Wednesday now. Let's try and get you Monday afternoon again for a recap.
The market's moving quickly now.
Exactly.
We've got to stay on the ball.
So we've got to stay on the ball. So we'll catch you in the next episode. We'll catch you on the next episode. And thanks for tuning in, folks. Cheers.
Cheers for now.